Hi, welcome to the Intermediate Maths Numeracy WJEC Summer 2023. So this is the first part. We're going for questions 1 to 3 today. Roughly, off the top of my head, I think it's around 16 marks, maybe 16 to 18 marks roundabout, I think it was. So we're going to go through each question. I'm going to read through the question. If you want to pause the screen, have a go at it yourself. But I'm going to go straight into actually doing the question then. So please just pause it if you're going and practicing it at home. First question. So we got 3 different types of medicines: a small bottle, a medium bottle, and a large bottle. Caitlin is buying some medicine. She needs which size offers the best value for money, and we've got to show all of our workings. It is an OCW question, and I will stress on this part that you get 2 marks if you lay out your work, put your headings, put your units, and make sure your workings are correct as well. But you get the 2 marks right. It's really nice and lovely, and it's the start of the paper. This is probably one of the luckiest questions you'll see. So the first thing I've noticed is that they're 30 mil, 40 mil, and 50 mil. So what I'm going to do is get them all to 10 mil. So to start off with my question, I give the examiner a nice little heading, small. And I'm going to say 30, and if I divide it by 3, that's going to give me 10 mil. So 3 was the main thing I was dividing by. So I'm going to do the same with money. £1.20 divided by 3. That is going to give me 40 pence. I'm just going to write 40 there. That looks a little bit messy. I'm going to write that out and just draw about a 0. Welcome to my videos. If this is the first time you see me do it. Or you could have had 40p there. As long as you've got units, it does not matter. I'm going to go up the top for the medium bottle. And remember, spellings need to be correct. So if you're anything like me that makes a lot of spelling mistakes, just double check on everything. So for this time, 40 divided by 4, that gives us 10 mil. And again, with the same with the thing. So 156 divided by 4. You don't have a calculator on this paper, so if you need to, use your bus stop. If you're not sure on your bus stop, please practice it. It just takes a little bit of practice as you go in. So how many 4s go into 1? Well, there's 0, so move the 1 over. How many 4s into 15? There are 3, because that will give you 12, which gives you 3 left over. How many 4s are in 36? There are 9. Put your dot up. So that was 0 and 3, 9, or 39 pence. And we're going to do the same with the large. So 50 divided by 5 gives us, wow, I've done that really awful 0. It's because I'm thinking of my next move. That's all I can tell you. 10 mil. So we're going to do the same again. 225 divided by 5. Again, bus stop, if you're not sure, just do it. No one's judging you. Love a bit of bus stop. 225 is 4. 2 left over. 25, 5. So that's pound sign in, 45 or 45 pence. Perfect. Right. We have not finished the question here. If you feel like you have finished, you have not. Okay, so please, please don't leave it like that. The question says, my highlighting skills are awful. It does not say that. But it says, which size bottle of medicine is the best value for money? You can tell it's a long day. We have not answered that. We've just shown the prices of them. Now, you've got to remember that when you're answering these questions, you're pretending that the person has no idea what you're doing. So you then got to go, right, 40p, 39p, 45p, which one's cheaper? Oh, the medium bottle. The median bottle. It is so hard to write on this computer, so bear with. Is the cheapest. Or the best value. Oh my god. For money. Oh, I did not mean to do that little line. There you go. And if you want to be fancy with your writing, you could put the 3 dots to say therefore. And we are done here. We have got our 5 marks. We do not need to think about this again. We can carry on. Next question, remember to freeze it if you want to. So we've got a survey was carried out in the USA. 743 teenagers were interviewed. They were asked the type of information they posted on social media. Here were the results displayed by the internet. So the first one, it says, how many times bigger? Times bigger. Nice word in there. How many times bigger is the percentage of teenagers who posted about their family than the percentage that was about their religious beliefs? So bigger, so we're looking at religious beliefs first. So RB, and we're going with times it by something to get to family. And no harm in you doing this in your exam. You're not breaking any rules here. You're just writing it in a nice little weird flow chart. So 11% times by what gives you 44%. Most of you would have seen it, but it is actually times by 4. So you write little note, 4 times bigger. Perfect. All done. What fraction of the teenagers posted about their emotions and feelings? Give your answer in simplest form. Right, emotions and feelings, it's 34%. So percent comes from a really long historical thing of percent, century, 100, per 100. Try and remember that. So 34 over 100, you do not get a mark for that. So don't feel like you're being a goddess at that point, because you have to put it in your simplest form. So they both go in the 2 times table. So 17 over 50. And that's done. Next one we got is Dewi. Dewi's looking at information about these teenagers. What is the modal type of information? Modal means most. Most modal. And which percentage is the most? It's the accomplishments. Wow, I cannot write, I cannot spell. We are doing well. I hope this makes maths feel a little bit better, especially if you're watching this in the holidays. But just remember, you are doing something, which is amazing. Right, that's all done. Till we get to the second part. So we got question D and E left on this question, and there's only one more after this. So be proud of yourselves. So freeze it if you want to freeze it, but I'm going to go straight on to answering it. So what information would have been needed for the original data so that the following hypotheses can be tested? In the USA, teenage girls post about family more than teenage boys. Hypotheses just means that the assumptions they're making. So you tend to make hypotheses on anything to do with data within stats. You might find that you do it when you're doing your science pracs. So don't be put off by that word. It's just what they can tell from the data. The data we currently look at, it just mentions teenagers. We don't know about the genders. So we would need to know the gender of the teenagers. That'll do. Of the teenagers. There we go. Last one. How many of the 743 teenagers post about their religious beliefs? you must show all your workings. Religious beliefs is 11%. And we know we need to find 11% of the 743. So we're going to do 11% times. Always write your times sign there. Even if you want to write of, write times. Times instead of of. So you know 10%, because this is non-calculator now. 10% you divide by 10. So 74.3. You know 1%, because it's essentially dividing your original number by 100 or the 10% by 10 again, which is 7.43. To find 11%, you add them together. Now, I've lined mine up properly. See how the dots all match? If you have not lined them up properly, please line them up, redo the sum, because I've seen it before where the 7 is shifted and people get it wrong. Just make sure your dots are lined up. If you haven't got a thing here, you can put a little 0 and then add it up as you go. So we've got 81.73 of a teenager. Can that happen? Nope. So I'm going to assume there is 82 teenagers. Now, it could be anywhere between 81 and 82, so just be aware of that, but I'm rounding up because it's more than 5. And there we go. Last question. Oh no, there's one more part of this. Lottie is confused by the data in the diagram. The data cannot be right because all the bars don't add up to 100%. The diagram is correct. Explain why the bars do not add up to 100%. So if you haven't already paused it and you were pausing it, please do have just a quick think. But now I'm going to go for the answer. So let's think about surveys that we do that you might have done in school. Sometimes there's surveys where you can click more than one option. And if it's a case that you're clicking more than one option, what's going to happen is the percentages are going to be off. They're not going to add up to 100% because I could have clicked on my family. I could have clicked on my accomplishments. I'm not necessarily going to click on my family and none of these, but I will click on the others more than once. So they would have had to limit it for it not to be and for it to stay at 100%, but because they haven't limited the options, that's why. So just a quick thing to say, teenagers, can click more than, I say click, it might be, doesn't matter, more than one option. Or choose more than one option, something along those lines. I feel like choose is a better word. Let me write choose. Click. Love that. That's me just on the computer. Choose. Now I'm second guessing if I spelled choose right. Oh well. Last and final question. We've got a bathroom and plumbing shop. Exciting times we lead. Okay, so one day 80 customers bought one bath and set of taps, or one bath or one set of taps. How many baths did the customer buy? Well, baths would consume that we looked at the whole of this whole circle. So everything in here is a bath. All the 40 mean is that as well as a bath, they bought a tap. A bit like the other question where they clicked more than one option. So if I just look at that section, I've got 10 plus 40, which is a total of 50 customers. Now, this is only 1 mark, so I didn't have to show my workings, but for you guys, I did. A bath costs £180. A set of taps costs £60. Calculate the total cost of the bath and set of taps bought by these 80 customers. That was a mouthful. Right, let's look at bath. This is not an OCW question, but there is no harm in writing it just the way we should be. So I'll do baths first. So we got £180, and we know we need to times that by 50. If you are someone that does not like maths, and you're like, how do I work this out? I haven't got a calculator, I'm freaking out. Just draw that old school bus stop, okay? It's not there to scare you. You're just partitioning numbers, which you would have done at primary. 1 times 5 is 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5 times 8 is 40. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then add them together. So you've got 5,000 plus 4,000 gives you 9,000. I'm here for it, okay? That took seconds and nobody's crying. That is the main thing. Now we've got to look at tabs. So remember with our lovely bubble that I did earlier and I shaded in brilliantly? We're going to change it up. We're highlighting the other side now. I'll just stick with yellow, why not? Beautiful colouring in, I know. Perfect. Right, so we've now got 40 plus 30, so I've got a total of 70, and that cost me £60. 60 times 70. Loads of people buying tabs. We don't need to do a box method for this. All we do need to know is 7 times 6, which you should know is 42, and then there's 2 zeros. That is just getting your placeholders in. So if you're someone who's not confident with multiplying by tens and hundreds, that's what I want you to do at this stage. That's all done, apart from the fact I need to add them up, so I'm laying them out again, even though I really can't lay it out on this computer. Be entertained, be very entertained. She done it again. Let's go. I said Barbie girl then. Well done to you, because it was going through my head. Right, 0, 0, 2, 9 plus 4 is 13. That is not the finished bit of my question because I need to put my sign in. 1, 3, 2, 0, 0. And I'm just going to write total cost. Ta-da! Right, so that's another 4 marks. I think we're on 12. Let me quickly go through. 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, 18, 19. 19 marks on this whole paper. This is fantastic. If you've got to this point, well, if you got this on both papers, you're looking already at nearly a D, I would say, or a D. And we haven't even started on the C question, so this is fab. But you'd have to do it on both papers. You can't just do it on the one. So we've got pipes are joined together using 2 couplings. So it shows what a coupling is. You don't need to know any prior knowledge. And it says how many couplings are needed to join 6 pipes. So it's shown a little diagram with 3 pipes. So every pipe, you've got 1, and then pipe 1, and then pipe, you don't need one on the end. So you could even, there's nothing stopping you, just drawing a little dot to dot here. If you really wanted to be an artist, you could go all out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6 pipes there. And how many couplings have I got? I think I'm saying that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am leaving this question with guaranteed marks. Couplings. Done. An equation is used to work out the number of couplings needed to join pipes. P is the number of pipes, and C is the number of couplings. So 2 pipes equals, well, no, because that would be, if I had 2 pipes, I'd have to have 2 couplings, so that doesn't work. A pipe plus a coupling gives me 2. So pipe, pipe. I don't quite like this method. So if I had 2 pipes, add my extra 1, that would suggest 3 couplings. So not that one. And then we got pipe minus 1. So if I had 1 pipe, do I need a coupling? No. If I had 2 pipes, I need 1 coupling. That works. If I had 3 pipes, so 3 pipes, 3 minus 1, I need 2 couplings. That works. See how I've justified myself as I'm going through here? It's quite difficult on these questions to know what they mean, but just keep going through them and just trial and error if you get stuck. Well, that's it for today. So I believe it was 19 marks. Let me double check. So 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 19 marks. So if you haven't already, please start with some revision. The summer 2023 paper we'll carry on to, but at least that's the first video on them. Hope you enjoyed.